Morning. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Love 500. Welcome back to a new project. We have a long journey to make to collect this project. Let's get straight into it. Let's show you where we've been, what we got, and why we got it. Let's go.
And Edinburgh. This train is full of 11 coaches.
So this is a big old place. Right, so BCA Manchester is absolutely enormous. It's absolutely enormous. Look at it. Look, that's the building. It's not like a bloody football stadium. And there are cars everywhere. And it's the quickest in and out ever. So you can actually walk to your car, and I think I spotted it here. Where is it? I'm sure I spotted it here. Yeah, there it is, tucked away. There it is. Can you see it? DSO5 Deb. Private plate. Nice little sport. Right, let's get in it and we'll come back. Morning. It's a bit brighter than the last time you saw me walking down this road. Oh, excuse the camera work. It's a dodgy arm. Hold it with the other hand. So this is the following morning. Picked the car up yesterday. We will be doing a walk around on it this afternoon. So I'll be slotting this video in before the walk around. And I'm just, the reason I'm up here again is that I left my car here at just after 4 o'clock yesterday morning. Or 4:30, whatever it was. And I'm just now going to retrieve it. I left it here all night because I was so tired when I got home last night. I couldn't face it. So hopefully it's still here and has not been stolen. Where is it? Can't actually see it. Worrying. Anyway, I'm sure it's still here. So I will see you. Oh, I can see it. Yeah, we'll see you on the walk around when we get home. Okay, so morning. Welcome back. So, a bit of a journey. It was a bit of a journey. I had to get up at 4:15 in the morning. I had to get a 6:43 train from Euston, which then went to Crewe, and then I had a 40-minute layover while I waited for another train. From Crewe to Manchester Piccadilly, and then I got an Uber from Manchester Piccadilly to BCA, and as you could see, the size of that place was absolutely enormous. Never seen anything like it. But I was in and out in 10 minutes. Amazing. And you can walk to your car, as you saw. Now, I didn't give this car a good check over when I got it. I never really do. As long as there's no lights up on the dash and there was nothing on the mechanical report or anything like that, I don't bother. It had the fuel light on, so obviously I had to drive all the way home, about 4.5 hours to get home, and obviously I needed to get petrol, so I stopped at the first petrol station I came to, which was probably a good 4 or 5 miles away, which was en route, and I noticed that tyre was not completely flat, but quite flat, and of course I didn't have a pump. They had nothing in that petrol station. So I had to drive more further, even onto the motorway. I probably drove 100 miles, I reckon, or thereabouts, before I actually stopped somewhere. And I thought, I can't actually carry on like this. I actually stopped for something to eat and looked at the tyre, and I should have taken pictures of it or filmed it, but it was quite low, but it wasn't flat. It hasn't damaged the tyre, luckily, but it was a bit stupid of me driving all that distance on a partially deflated tyre. So they had no airline, so I had to spend £17 on a cheap and nasty pump, which is now sitting in the footwell. So I pumped it up. It hasn't gone back down again, so it must be a very, very slow puncher. Obviously, it's probably been sitting at BCA for a little while, but this is the car. As you can see, the wheel trims are not on it. They were on the car. I took them off yesterday because I didn't have a locking wheel nut key, and I wanted to take a picture of it. There is no locking wheel nuts. In fact, each wheel is only on 3 nuts. Bottom one there at 6 o'clock is missing, as you can see, and there's one missing on all of them. I think I can see new brake discs down there. Yes, I can. Very new brake discs. That's a bonus. Cam belt hasn't been done on this, unfortunately. I've got Glenn coming next week to do it. Now, let me tell you a bit about why I bought this car. I didn't want to buy this car, but let me tell you why. Right, so the reason I bought this car was because, if you remember the white Sport that I sold recently with the aircon problem, that up to now, that aircon problem has not been resolved. And we will be covering that in another video on that car. So I spoke to the lady. I won't go into any great detail, but I spoke to the lady and basically said, look, I can either give you your money back. Bearing in mind, she wanted to take the car without it being fixed. I said, okay, I wanted to get rid of it. And I thought it was just going to be to put a new sensor on it. It didn't work. So she said, look, we're really desperate for the car. Can we take it now and we'll sort that out afterwards? Which, again, I cover in the other video, so I'm not going to go into any great detail now. So I gave her the option, look, I'll give you your money back. You can drive it around until I find you another car. If I can find you a newer car with lower mileage, so much the better. I said, it's now October. It was then September. So I said, chances are you're not going to need the aircon very much, if at all, now, as autumn is now upon us. So she said, yeah, that's fine. So I found this one, which is the same year. It's on private plates, which she's happy to keep on private plates, so I don't have to spend the money getting the original registration. I said to her, if at some point you decide you want to sell those, you could probably get a bit of money for those. But it is a 2014. It'd be a 64 plate, or it would have been. It's done less mileage. It's done about 60. I think it's just about to turn 63,000, whereas hers is 68,000. So I sold her that other car for 3,900 quid. This one, including fees, was 3,100. Not a cat car, not a damaged car, and it's a grade 2 car. So it's in really, really good condition. There's just one little tiny bit of a scrape on the rear bumper, and that is it on the outside. There is something on the inside which is a bit annoying, which I didn't know about, which wasn't on the BCA report, which I'll come to in a bit. So the plan is, cam belt's being done. There was some awful rattling coming from the back, and I think the rear, without a doubt, without even looking, the rear shocks are completely shot. So they're going to have to be changed. There were a couple of advisories on the MOT, which I'm going to check to see if they've been done. If they haven't, I've got to put it through an MOT anyway, because it's only MOT till December. So there's only like a couple of months left, so we need to get it MOT'd. So it's a nice full year on it. So it's a really nice car. This is exactly the same, except it's got the black roof and it's got different wheels on it to the other one. But apart from that, I've done her a little walk around video, which I sent to her, and she's happy with it. So let me show you around the car. Let's go. Right, here we go. So not going to be a long walk around because there's not much to show you, to be honest. So as I say, there's no damage on this car except for a tiny bit on the back. So the wheels, that wheel's a little bit curved. They are very, very dirty, the wheels. The car itself isn't very dirty, but I'm going to give it a clean once I've done this walk around. That back one is okay. It's got good tyres all round, which is good, so I haven't got to buy any tyres for it. As I say, so we've got black painted roof. I think it's painted, not wrapped. Yeah, black painted roof and black spoiler, which is quite nice. Sets it off quite nicely, I think, on a white car. No damage down here, no damage here. So the only damage on it is a little scuff there, some paint crack in there, and this little bit misshapen here. So we'll rub all that down and repaint that bit. Apart from that, that's it, no damage at all whatsoever. Again, good tyres, that wheel's all right. No damage, no damage, no damage. That wheel's got a little bit of scuffing, nothing major, which will tidy up a little bit. Again, she wasn't worried about scuffed wheels on the other car. Even though I did touch them up, she wasn't worried about it. Let's just pop the bonnet, we'll show you under the bonnet, and then we'll show you the interior. Right, okay, so, a bit dirty under here, as they usually are. We've got a replacement battery there, which doesn't look brand new, but it's certainly not the original. We've got covers on these things here. In fact, let's take one off and have a look. Bit crusty, although it doesn't look like the original. I got a feeling there was a top mount, possible worn top mount on one of them. Can't remember which side it was. Let's take that off. Yeah, that one looks older. Might be driver's side actually, can't remember. Yeah, cam belt not been done. As you can see, the sticker is stuck fast. However, the auxiliary belt doesn't look original. Looks quite black, quite new. Haven't inspected the oil filter yet. Can't see without a torch. I'll have a grab a torch in a minute. But you know, say it's not a cat car. It's not a crash car. Clean title. It's pretty good, really. Pretty good. Those are missing, both sides. No, that one's there, but I always replace those anyway with different ones. So we'll give it a good clean up under here. But yeah, what can I tell you about under the bonnet? That's about it, really. Right, let me show you inside. So we have standard inside, in a sport, the black interior, black headlining, the half leather sport seats, all good. Probably a little bit on the grubby side. Doesn't smell of cigarettes or anything like that. Let me show you the damage on the seat that I was mentioning earlier. It's really annoying. It's a strange place to have damage as well. Just there. Look at that. I wonder why that's gone like that. So I bought a new seat. On eBay, it was 120 quid. I added it to my watch list, hoping I might get an offer, which I didn't. So last night I offered £100, free delivery as well, £100, and within 5 minutes they'd accepted it. So that's en route. Hopefully they'll get that within the next couple of days. But it's all pretty clean. There's that horrible, crappy £5 compressor that I had to pay £17 for in the petrol station. We do have all the books with it. The only thing we don't have is the service history, which is a bit annoying. So who knows where that might have ended up. It always amazes me how service histories tend to go missing. Why? If people keep the books in the car, or maybe they don't, maybe they just put it in there when they sell it to BCA. Now, did you hear that noise? Let me get down here. I'm going to do that again. Now, this noise I could hear throughout my journey, except for on the smooth bits of motorway. So have a listen. When I shut the door, as the door shuts, you'll hear a rattle. You may have already just heard it. Have a listen. Hear that? I think that's the exhaust. What I think it probably is the bracket that's on the exhaust about sort of there, I reckon has come loose and it's rattling around on the exhaust pipe. It was driving me around a twist. Rear shocks are quite clearly knackered. When I was going over some of the motorway on the way back is like 8 foot long concrete slabs with a join in the middle between each slab. Every single, so you're going over, going dum, 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 dum. Every single time I went over, it was going thud, 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 thud. It's like there's no suspension at the back at all. I did have a quick crawl underneath yesterday, and I saw, and I'll show you in the next video, I saw that both bump stops are broken in half, and the lower part of it is sitting in the cup. So that might have something to do with a lack of dampening. I don't know how much dampening those things actually do. But I've ordered new ones of those, brand new ones, Febby ones, which I was quite surprised, $11.99 for the pair. So nice and cheap. So there's literally, is that a little scratch? Oh yeah, there's a little scratch there, which we'll probably polish out, get a little bit of paint in there. Yeah, that's it. That's literally the only scratch on the car. Now that thing on the seat was not pointed out by BCAs, which really surprises me, because they often point to things on the bonnet and on seals and things like that, you know, when you get the car, there's nothing there. So I can only assume that they didn't spot it, rather than trying to hide it. You know, it's not Copart. We all know what Copart do. This key didn't work to unlock, so I was having to use the key. It now does. It was just battery had run out. I put a new battery in it, and now it's all right. So it seems to go okay. Now the only thing I've got an issue with is the clutch is quite heavy. Now I got used to it on my journey back, bearing in mind on a motorway, you know, when you're driving 4.5 hours down motorways, you're not using your clutch very much, but in the 30 or 40 instances during that journey that I had to use the clutch, I got used to it, but it does feel quite heavy to me. So I think it's a matter of, well, I'm going to speak to Glenn when he comes next week. Now I'm not sure whether I'm going to see him, because I'm working Wednesday, so it depends whether I'm working at home or not, but I'm going to get him to have a little feel of the clutch and see what he thinks. I was going to change the clutch slave cylinder. I don't think that's going to work. It does often make the clutches lighter when you fit those. You know, if you've got a squeaky one, or slightly stiff, it does make them lighter and makes it feel like a new clutch. So it may have some effect on it, but it is quite heavy. So I'm going to try that because I've got them and they're cheap enough to try. If not, it could be either a release bearing, or I can't remember what it's called, the fork. Is it the fork that sort of lifts the bearing? I can't remember the workings of the clutch or the gearbox so much now, but in which case, of course, if that needs doing, I will get Glenn to do that, and obviously we'll put a new clutch in it as well. Hopefully we won't need to do that, because that's going to push me right over the top budget-wise. I made £800 out of the other car, some of which has been eaten into, very little. Again, that will be explained on the other video. At the moment, I'm up to about including the cam belt, I think I'm up to about 3.5 at the moment. So I've still got 400 quid left in it, which will be completely wiped out once I have if I have a new clutch. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. So she's not in a rush, and she's going away on holiday as well for a couple of weeks. So she's not going to be around till at least the end of October. So that's not an issue. Oh, I've locked it. Let's get in the boot. In the boot, we see there's no carpet. Reason for that: there was a carpet. It was wet. Well, damp. There's obviously water getting in here, and has been for some time, going by the state of those tools. So it's dried out now. It was only a bit, it wasn't much, but I suspect it's probably the aerial, and I have a very, very weak radio signal. If I scan for radio stations, there's nothing comes up. If I do it manually, I can pick up like Capital and Heart and things like that, but you can tell that it's not a very good signal. So my guess is probably the aerial's failed, water's got in there, and if you do that, you can see it does move around. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was a little bit of informative. I may even put this out as a midweek video potentially, as it's only it's not like I'm repairing the car as such. That's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, as usual, I'm asking you to hit the button. I know you probably get fed up with me saying that, but it really helps the channel. We're almost at 13,000 subscribers now as well, which is amazing. With your help, we'll reach it. That's it. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.